Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to Visit Malta channel. Based on the many comments and frequent questions, I have created this video, which explain how fast you can change your job and employer in Malta, and can you change it without informing the employer, and what happen if you do change your job without informing your employer. So we are going to discuss about these three major questions that I have frequently receiving nowadays. Okay, so let me explain. So first of all, stop thinking that you can change your employer and change your job immediately when you reach in Malta and jumping to the different work immediately. First of all, stop thinking. It is not easy to do that immediately. Okay, let me explain why you cannot change your job immediately and what is the procedure and how long it will take. Okay. First of all, when you reach the Malta for the actual job, you might have to apply for a residence card, okay, with the applications that is being provided by Identity Malta, okay. So that is also will take at least a month to receive the residence card, okay. So without holding a residence card, you cannot change your job immediately because changing your job definitely they ask your residence card. Okay, another document which I'm going to explain in this video. So stop thinking that you can change the job immediately. It is impossible. All right. So there is a certain amount of time that will involve when you change the job. Okay. So as I said, you need a residence card first based on your actual job that you came for, which will take at least a month to receive the residence card. So 1 month you have to be very patient, no other way. All right. And then once you decided to change your job, first you have to get a new job, okay, with a different employer and sign a contract. It is very important that you have to sign a contract and confirm the second job that you have is 100% is for you. The reason because once you resign the job from your old employer, you are allowed to be here only 15 days, 2 weeks maximum to stay in this country. Without the job, you are not allowed to stay in the country. So within 2 weeks, you have to go back to your country. That's a legal rule. Okay. So please make sure if you are changing your job, you have to sign a contract with your employer. All right, with your new employer. Once you sign your contract with your new employer, then you have to inform your old employer and end the contract that you have signed before you arrive here in Malta. I mean, when you arrive in Malta, okay? So you have to end the contract by informing your old employer, okay? There is what important step that is involved, okay, between your old employer and the new employer and the jobs plus. Okay, many people don't know what is Jobs Plus. If you don't know, please just check the Jobs Plus video that I'm giving you in the top right hand corner. Okay, so you can check what is Jobs Plus. Okay, and so your old employer will inform the Jobs Plus department saying that this employee is has been resigned the job and the contract has been terminated. Okay, so as soon as your old employer inform about your job contract terminated, the Jobs Plus will send the termination letter. Okay, that is very important. A termination, contract termination letter with your current employer has been accepted. Okay, so they will send the letter to your old employer. Okay, that is where you have to collect your the termination letter from your old employer and you have to provide it to your new employer. So it is very important that you have to collect your termination letter that is being provided by the job plus to your old employer. Without that letter, your new employer cannot proceed the job contract with Identity Malta. Your employer will not be proceed and your new employer will require the termination letter from your old employer. So that is the reason I told you that you cannot just jump your job without informing your old employer. So you have to be informed with your old employer and relieve properly. Okay, so that's very important because your old employer and jobs place and new employer are connected with the jobs place. Jobs place is nothing but the central portal of the employment unit in Malta, which will connected all the employment, including the Maltese, all the employment services in Malta. So every company that is connected with the Jobs Plus services employment unit. So whoever resign the job, whoever get the new job, it always goes to the Jobs Plus and it always goes to the new employer and old employer. Okay, so this Jobs Plus will take 2 to 3 weeks to send the letter to your old employer saying that termination accepted and you will they'll send the termination letter. Okay, so here 2 weeks will be gone. Only when your old employer send the notification to Job Plus, it will take 2 weeks. If your old employer didn't inform the Jobs Plus that you are resigned, then it will take additional time. Some old employer, if they are not ready to relieve you, if they are not agree with your relieving, they will unnecessarily hold your employment by not informing to the jobs place. So this is where it will take more time. So this is where you have to be relieved with your old employer properly without any fighting or any arguments. Okay, that's very important. If there is any arguments or any fighting, if your old employer not informing the jobs place, then your new employment will take more time to join. Okay, so you need the termination letter to proceed with your new employer. Okay, this is very important. Now, apart from that, you may have some additional questions that can I change job within a few months? So, as I said, here it will take 2 weeks, and originally you need a residence card for your first employment, and that will take 1 month. Here it will take 2 weeks, and additionally add a 2 weeks to proceed the new employment application with Identity Malta. So here 2 weeks, previously 1 month, and here 2 to 3 weeks. So it was almost take 2 months minimum to change your new employment. Okay, so that's very important. And and yes, since your residence card progress within current employer will take few months, you cannot change job immediately. Also, you need to be aware if there is any terms and condition you have signed with your current employer before you change of job immediately. For example, many people have signed the 1 year contract with the old employer. So within a few months after they receive the residence card, they decided to change the job. So if you sign your contract, that if you are changing or breaking your 1 year contract, you may have to pay the remaining month to your employer. So you have to make sure before you sign the contract if there is any terms and condition that you signed for with your old employer. Okay, that is very important. Otherwise, you will have to stick with your contract and stick with your old employer, or you have to pay for it for the remaining month's salary to the employer and you have to come out. That's the way. Okay, it will be as mentioned in the contract. Okay, and what if you ready to pay your employer and 100% wanted to relieve the company and your employer not to ready to relieve you from the current job? Okay, if that is the case, there is a rule to relieve the employee if she or he does not like to work. All right. So if you decided to not to work with your employer and your employer have no rights to hold you at all at any cost. But again, please note that you may need to pay for your employer if you're leaving before your contract, if you signed anything. Okay. And another question is, can I apply change of work permit by my own? Definitely not. It is impossible. As we have mentioned above, employee cannot apply change of job by own. Your new employer only can initiate a new application behalf of you. Okay, that's the only option. You cannot just simply go to the online and apply for it. So it is not possible. Only your new employer has to apply a working permit again for you. When I say again, it's basically consider a fresh application when you change your job. Okay. Just like you have provided the list of document for your fresh application like health screening report. If it is less than 6 months, you can use the same health screening chest x-ray report and passport bio page and lease agreement and contact detail and home address and date of first arrival in Malta and some cases resume and reference contact for last 3 years employment. So all this information you might have to provide when your new employer apply for a working permit and again behalf of you. Okay, so hope this is clear. As I said, it is not easy to change your employment immediately just like that. There are some procedures and rules that you have to follow. If you're not following the rule and directly jump onto the new employer and it is against the Maltese law and your employer may not provide you a salary and may not first of all your new employer should not allow you to work without proper termination letter from your current old employer and the jobs place. Okay, that's against the Maltese law, and if the government is fined, then you both will be get into a trouble, and you might be rejected by the visa and permanently not allowed to enter in Malta again. Okay, so if you have any other question, you can always reach me out at visit to malta@gmail.com for general consultation. Okay, for the detailed procedure, how you can change the job and what are all the steps that you have to do and the sample letter and sample letter of termination letter that has been received. I have created another video which explain in very detail and procedure by showing the sample letters and everything. I'll give you the tags in the top right hand corner. You can click on it or you can find it in my channel and get to know more detail about the procedure of changing the job. Okay. So that's it. Thank you for watching the video. If you think this video is useful, please like, and share the video to the people who really require this kind of information and subscribe to my channel. Your like and share and subscription will motivate me to create more videos. Thanks again, everyone, and good luck.